I'm told that literally drivers will drive around for an hour, hour and a half, trying to find a spot before their hours run out, so they'll stay within the time frame.
Or face being compelled to park on those ramps, which is not safe for them or for other drivers.
We all know that safe truck parking is a huge issue right now all across the country. So what did Secretary Buttigieg say the DOT is doing about truck parking at the Senate hearing yesterday? Senator Boozman started off this discussion mentioning that 87% of Arkansas's communities depend on trucks to move their goods. This is across all states too. He wanted to learn more about the truck parking capacity.
We've heard repeatedly from representatives of the trucking industry that the nationwide shortage of truck parking capacity is a key driver of supply chain inefficiency. In fact, for every 11 drivers, there's only one truck parking space.
He said that for every 11 drivers, there is only one truck parking space, and that drivers will drive for an hour to an hour and a half before their hours run out trying to find a spot. He asked Secretary Buttigieg how Congress can help them solve this problem. Before we see what Buttigieg said, let's dive further into the truck parking problem. Check out this article by Overdrive that says Americans largely unaware of truck parking crisis. A new survey by Cloud Trucks revealed Americans' attitudes toward professional truck drivers, showing that while most think drivers are overworked and underpaid, they're unaware of the truck parking crisis. According to OOIDA, there is a national shortage of more than 40,000 parking spaces. The Cloud Trucks survey showed that 56% didn't know truck drivers faced such a parking shortage.
Well, I completely agree with the importance of this issue. When you talk with truck drivers, it's one of the first things that they'll raise. And it's not just a matter of convenience, it's really a matter of safety.
Right.
It means that as a driver is on their route, they see that they're getting close to the limit of their hours of service. They're faced with a choice either to stop short and lose income, if there's even a space near them, or to park in a place that could be unsafe. Yeah.
He said the funding they do have from DOT's Infrastructure for Rebuilding America, or INFRA, is being used to fund Florida and Tennessee truck parking programs. The infrastructure law that Biden enacted last year increased the infra program by more than 50%, and the law provides approximately $8 billion for infra grants over the next 5 years.
I do want to make sure in the meantime you're aware that we're using the funding we do have for these purposes. We were able, through our discretionary programs, I believe infra, but I will double check with the course, to fund both Florida and Tennessee working on projects to do just this, to add truck parking spaces. And I would add there's some interesting technologies developing that can help drivers know in real time where some of those spaces might be available to avoid just that scenario that you're describing of circling around, which benefits no one.
What Buttigieg is referring to is a new $15 million project on I-4 between Tampa and Orlando, Florida, creating about 120 parking spaces, and $22.6 million expansion project on I-40 east of Nashville, Tennessee, that adds about 125 spaces, as well as upgrading the adjacent bridge structures on I-40 over the Caney Fork River. Buttigieg added that there is also emerging technology to help show drivers in real time where truck spaces are available. For example, the facility in Florida will be connected to the Florida Department of Transportation's truck parking availability system, which helps drivers identify available parking locations. This Florida project also includes electric charging stations and pedestrian infrastructure to access nearby commercial amenities. The truck spaces will also include at least 6 electrical hookups to provide standby power for refrigerated trucks and auxiliary power for in-cab comforts. Nice! Another project from a different program granted $110 million for the Hertz Point Terminal Produce Market Intermodal Facility in the Bronx. This project will boost the economy by improving one of the largest food distribution centers in the country by widening and separating vehicle, truck, rail, and pedestrian circulation, and clearly establishing and expanding truck queuing and parking areas within the facility.
Secondly, we have taken steps to urge state DOTs to recognize that this is often an eligible use of their federal aid highway formula funds. We would love to see more of those funds going to that purpose.
And third, if needed, working with Congress to further help alleviate this issue. We can only hope they push hard on this. This is all very interesting, and we will see how far the funding programs go and what else Congress may do to push for safe truck parking across the country. Do you have a suggestion? Where do you see the biggest need for truck parking? Let me know in the comments below. Truckers are now using parking apps that can help them find a place to rest without needing to waste time. You might know these as DAT1, Trucker Path, Road Breakers, Park My Truck, and more. Do you use these apps? Which one is the best? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, stay safe out there.